Hey guys, how's life going on there? You see, I got a new toy, and in this video, I'm going to show to you how it performs in terms of cosmetic, acoustic live music test, parametric test using oscilloscope and signal generator, and finally, the manufacturability. So stay tuned guys and watch this video till the end. Oh, by the way, you are watching MTPRe, that is a Measure, Test, Program, and Review. And if you are new to my channel, you might like to subscribe it to support my channel. To subscribe to my channel, you can hit the red button below this video, or there is a small one in here which is called subscribe. You just hover your mouse in there and then click it and click subscribe. By the way, you must be signed in to Google services like the Chrome Google in order for you to subscribe to my channel. Alright, so let's take it away. Here is the content of the package: the main amplifier, the power supply, the remote control, and of course the Bluetooth antenna. The Class-D amplifier is measured at 23 cm by 17 by 3.8. Weight of the product is 1.82. Let's see the front funnel. It's obvious we can see the volume control in here, the LCD display, and this is the phone. It's for the headphone jack, and we've got the man-machine interface in here, like the power and the input selectors. We can see also some small stuff in here, like LEDs for the power, the mute, and the Bluetooth LED. And it is labeled as FX-AUDIO. That is nice one. And the model number, which is the D2160. That's what we can see from the front panel. So cosmetically, we can see at the back that there is this SMA for the Bluetooth antenna. This is the antenna that you can actually put in there. Let's try to put that one. And the next to it is the USB. It's a B-type PC USB for the DAC. And the next one here is the optical interface. And we got the coaxial interface, and followed by this RCA jack in here. And the by the way, these are all the inputs, including the Bluetooth antenna, which is considered to be an input. And the other one in here is the output, which is a binding force for the speaker. This is one for the left and right. And next to it is the power supply. So I can see in here that there are actually two power supply with an input of 24 to 36 volts. And I don't know yet why there are two input in here. But I'm going to ask that what will be the use of these two input, whether we can use it only one or we can use it both. So again, the fine heat sink in here, which is I like it so much, makes it quite I should say macho, or pretty, if that will be for the girl. And it looks nice, actually, pretty good to see it. And I like this better than the D840C because of its structure. Let's see the power supply, which is I believe this is an SMPS, and it is labeled as a FX-AUDIO with a model number like FX-360 6000, with an input of 100 to 200 volt AC, and that is can cover 50 to 60 hertz, and an output of 36 6 ampere, that is DC. And it should be matching the input in here, which is the input actually is DC of 24 to 36 DC. They did not put the DC in here, but you can see from the icon in here that it is a DC and not an AC. What about the remote control, you may ask? That will be like 15 cm by 1.3 cm, and it weighs 57 grams including the batteries. I believe that when they ship this product, the batteries should not be there, because shipping a product with batteries is a little bit difficult on the chemical regulation as well as the fire safety. In front of the remote control, you can see the mute, the power on off, which is in a red button. You've got those controls over here like the bass, treble, and loudness, including the EQ, direct, select, of course the volume, and it is labeled here as manufactured by NFJ and FX-AUDIO. Let me put back the battery and then try to power it on before I'm going into the functional music test. Let's see that, and cover the battery. And oops, I'm missing something. I haven't plugged in this power supply, so let's do that. So I mentioned that there are actually two input for the power supply, and both are 24 to 36. So I'm going to put that one right now. You can see there were no sparks. Let's see that again and watch it out if there is any spark. Yes, no any spark at all. That's good. And let's see the front, which is already okay. It's automatically power on. Well, indeed, it automatically boot up instead of going into the standby mode, so it goes into the active mode. So I'm going to turn it off right now. So part off. I'm expecting that when you plug in, it should be in the standby mode, and it will going to wait for the user to press the button in here, which is the power on, or the button in here. So let's do that. Power it on, and we got the D2160, which is the model number and the last value. Let me zoom that one. The last volume level is 33 dB. That should be in dB. No any indicators. All right, so I can decrease the volume to, and the maximum is let's say 99. So I do not think this is in dB or no any mention at all. So it's just from 0 to 99, which is also you can access it from the remote control, what I'm doing right now. So let's see how to select the input. You can manually press the button on the front panel, which is be like USB. We got BT, auxiliary, coaxial, optical, and back to USB in cycle. Or you can actually get the select in here. That's the select button in here, which if you do that, you can have the 5 inputs in cycle. Again, that is will be like USB, BT, auxiliary, coaxial, and optical, and then go back to USB. Well, it looks working. Both the man-machine interface here, this is the man-machine interface, and also for the remote control, which is works good. Let me check the connectivity of the D2160 with the music source, like the Android phone over Bluetooth. That means I need to connect and make it sure that the antenna, the 2.4 antenna, is connected well on the SME at the back. And what I'm going to do right now is that I'm going to select the Bluetooth here manually as USB, and you can see that the green LED in here is flashing. That should be in the connection mode. Now it automatically connect and become a steady green because of the fact that I have already connected earlier. This is the FX-AUDIO, which is let me see that one is steadily FX-AUDIO D2160, and connected for calls and MIDI audio. So that's how it looks like. So I can now play my favorite music if connected with the speakers via Bluetooth, and this is for the Android phone. Alright, so I got the iPhone and I'm going to set it up. Going to the Bluetooth, which is already in there, open up already, and you can see that nothing D2160 is in there. So other device is searching, but it's not in there. What I get is the Away, that is the headphone with an ANC, or Ive, I should say, Away or Ive. And let me put that one into Bluetooth, which you can see start again to see that green color there. I just want to make it sure that my Android phone is disabled the Bluetooth, so I disable it. Other device in there, and it detected the FX-AUDIO, and there you are. You've got the FX-AUDIO connected. So that's it. It's connected to the iPhone 7 iOS platform. So both the Android phone and the iPhone iOS, they were both connected without any problem. So I'm okay with that. By the way, you know that these two phones, they get 100 RMB. That is yuan in Chinese. And the reason why is that we are no longer using a code cost in China, I would say. Most people now are using the WeChat Pay on WeChat Wallet, but we need to do some reservation that in case there is a problem on paying. To test this Class-D amplifier acoustically, I need to make use of a speaker. I want to use this one as a standard speaker. This is an A401 speaker from the same company, FX-AUDIO, and they name it as Summer Audio. So this is a bookshelf speaker actually, and a little bit nice, I should say. You can see at the bottom, which is an extended woofer. Without further things to do, I'm going to set it up the acoustic performance, and I'm going to show to you. I think this is the most interesting part to subject the Class-D amplifier D2160 from FX-AUDIO into electrical performance test, or sometimes they call it the parametric test. So here it is. I set up it earlier. I did not show it on the video because setting up will take some time, and I wanted to shorten this video. Let me start with the power management. The deep sleep mode of the Class-D power amplifier is about 1.9 watt, and the standby mode is 7.1 watt. The very first thing that I need to do is that this Class-D amplifier comes with EQ or equalizers with the different environment characteristic, and also comes with a tone control. So I need to set up the tone control to the flat response. It means there is no boost and there is no cut. And for the EQ, I need to bypass it, or that is called normal. So the tune will be at disable. And there is also a function called loudness. So I need to turn off all of these things. So what I mean to say is that all the controls are flat, and I'm only testing the power amplifier in its flat version. Well, this is a Class D amplifier, and we expect that the residual noise caused by the Class D clock is there. So you can see that even without an input signal, you can see an output signal, which is about 1 volt RMS on each channel. The left and right channel have an output of 1 volt RMS with the frequency of about 352 kilohertz. That is basically the Class D oscillating frequency. Well, for me, the first thing to do is to know and understand about this so-called offset voltage. This is the DC voltage that is appearing at the speaker terminal. So for the left channel, the offset voltage is 13.2 millivolt. That is 0.0132 volt without an input signal. And let me see if there is any change when there is a sine wave input signal, and that become about 10.4 millivolt. Well, that's still okay. I think this is pretty good, I should say. Let's see the right channel, and it appears to be that the offset voltage is about 0.7 millivolt. Wow, that's even better. And when there is an input signal, it becomes 3.6 millivolt. So basically the offset voltage is excellent, and I love it. I got the precondition already, and I got the 8 ohms load here. This is an 8 ohms load, and here you go. It looks like that it goes to the unclip is about 19 volt RMS per channel, and let's increase that to the clip, which is about 23 volt RMS. What I'm going to do right now is to know the input sensitivity, that input signal to cause a maximum power, average power of about 66 watt at the 8 ohms load. The next thing to do is I'm interested to know what is the average power, the maximum power this amplifier can deliver to the load when the load changes from 8 ohms to 4 ohms. Now I'm going to monitor the characteristic of the waveform at the 4 ohms load, and this is what I've got. The maximum voltage swing, I'm saying approximately 10% is about 20 VRMS. That will give me an average power of about 100 watt per channel. The characteristic of the waveform is different from the 8 ohms. You can see that there are lots of artifacts coming out right now, and while I'm monitoring it, I'm going to increase the amplitude, and this is what happened. Yes, it shut down. So the amplifier have the detection that if it is overload already, then it will shut down itself, and after sometimes it looks like that, like after 10 seconds, then it will reopen again. But if the waveform is still the same, or there is still an overload, then it will shut down again. That could be an overcurrent protection, I should say. So at the end of the test for the sine wave, what I get is that the temperature is still maintained the same at about 32 degrees centigrade at room temperature of about 29 degrees centigrade. Done with the sine wave, and I wanted to test it with a square wave at 1 kilohertz. You can say that it almost looks like a perfect sine wave. Well, of course, because of the clock frequency that is riding on the output, and that's the reason why the tops and the bottom of the square wave is a little bit thick. So the next thing to do for me right now is that since this Class D amplifier comes with a tone control and EQ and loudness control, so let me try to test them using the square wave input signal to test the tone control. So there will be like a bass cut, and bass boost, and this is how it performs for the bass boost and bass cut, and this performs for the treble boost, and the treble cut. There is another output of the FX-AUDIO D2160, and that is the headphone, which is located in front of the amplifier. So I'm going to test it functionally with live music via Bluetooth, and I'm going to make use of the Away headphone, the A950BL, which is a Bluetooth with an option to use the 3.5mm cable. This is the manufacturing review, and I actually take the case cover of the camera to make the video shorten, and this is how it looks like. So you can see that the PCB is in red color with one PCB containing all the necessary part. It's divided between the low-level processing and the high-level processing. So the low-level processing is located on the right, and the high-level processing, which is composed of the Class-D amplifier, is on the left. And you can see this division. This division just suggests to make it sure that anything that is happening in the high-level processing, like the Class-D oscillating, will not be affecting the low-level processing. That's why they put a shield in here, like the Great Wall of China. I have a wild guess that they performed the DFM, or design for manufacturing, with the neat, you can see it's a one single PCB, with the front panel is another PCB, that is a kid PCB that is connected by the flex connector, and here at the back is only the speaker terminal is another kid PCB. So basically there are only three PCB. The connector for the speaker, the main PCB, and the front panel PCB. So that's a kind of challenge if you are designing like this. So I believe that they have performed some kind of design for manufacturing, which is quite easy to manufacture, and the process that is implemented is quite good. I have a wild guess also that they probably perform what is called design failure mode effect analysis, or that is the DFMEA, looking at how they place all the components. And in terms of manufacturing and the process, I do believe that they also perform a kind, or they do some kind of studies of what we call the PFMEA, which is the process failure mode effect analysis. At the bottom is the Class-D amplifier chipset, which is, I can still see the silicon grease over there. So that silicon grease is the one that is facilitate the transfer of heat from the chipset, the Class-D chipset, into the heatsink. So the bottom cover actually is the whole heatsink, and the fine heatsink at the side, the left and the right, basically is not any component connected on it. So it's more like a display, basically, to make the physical appearance to be more stronger, and just convey the information that having a heatsink is something that is, I say earlier, it's a macho, or looks quite good, or looks strong, or rugged, I should say. Let's see this chipset. It is the AK4118 from AKM, Asahi Keisei. This is a decoder, a 192 kHz 24-bit digital transceiver. And the way I judge it using the microscope, it's quite good. I can say that the SMT guys did a good job, and it looks like that it follows the IPC 610 recommendations and reference for SMT components. By the way, this chipset is LQFP. It's a 48 pins, and it looks pretty good. Let's take a look at the Bluetooth module, which is powered by CSR. And I don't have worry about this one, because I do believe they don't do the SMT for this. Probably they subcontract this as a module and arrive at the factory as a complete and tested module, and they just put it. That's the blue one. That is the Bluetooth module. Let's see the HD compatible audio processors, which is From Texas Instrument, this is a PowerPod plastic small outline package, and as you can see from the microscope, it's quite good. The way it was soldered is good. There's no misalignment, and again, the SMT guy who managed this one done a good job based on IPC 610. Guys, before I'm going to close the review, I just would like to mention that there is a part 2 of the manufacturing, I should say, and that is to understand about the band materials or the chemicals that is prohibited to use in a product because of the fact that such materials like lead, they are dangerous to the users like me and like you. That is why there is a directive from the EU countries, also in the US, about banning these chemicals which is dangerous. So if you have heard about Rose or Rich and Pops, those are the directives that direct manufacturers to restrict or ban materials that is dangerous to the users. I don't have the capability right now to do all of this checking. I need to, indulge in the manufacturing green parts management, as well as need to be tested in external laboratory like TUV or SGS in order to really prove the presence or not presence of the banned or dangerous substances. I just want to mention in this review that the US and the EU countries are taking steps to protect the consumers, users like me and you, against these substances. This ends my review of the Class-D amplifier, the FX-AUDIO D2160. Basically, this product is quite good, I should say. It's very similar to the D802C, which is also the same as FX-AUDIO, and I love that small but terrible power amplifier. My take after reviewing the D2160 Class-D power amplifier from FX-AUDIO, it's good enough for my personal use, whether as we use as a family or personal to my video editing and my listening pleasure to hi-fi music and my favorite music, and I love it actually. I love it, and I recommend that if you like a small but terrible power amplifier, why not avail the D2160. Guys, thank you for watching the MTPR, and see you in the next video. Thank you also for subscribing. Bye for now, and have a nice day.